Hi Gemini, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. This is going to be a general reading for you, and there's no date on my reading, so when it comes to your feed, it's meant for you. So in today's reading, we're going to be doing a reading called Conquer Your Fears. And if you stay on this channel, you know, I've noticed that a lot of people are clicking on and clicking off. Because we block our fear. When it's in our system, we don't want to look at it. And I mean, the reason why I am doing this reading is because I myself have been feeling the intensity of my own fears in the last few weeks. And, you know, it can come up in your body, it can come up in your thoughts, and just creates a lot of stress and tension in me. For myself, I had huge anxiety. And I just felt paralyzed, and you know, I know it has a lot to do with what's going on in the world right now, and I think it's bringing up a lot of fear in people, and I mean, it keeps us small. It paralyzes us, and that's exactly what I think the intention of it is out there, is to try to create fear in us so we stay small. And so I knew that this fear was coming up in me. And I mean, to the point where I wanted to rip out my chest one day, and I just found myself I just didn't know what to do with my anxiety. And I thought, oh my God, I got to get at this fear. And so because I knew that what was happening in the outside world was triggering something in my inner world. And that's what the mirror effect is in our life, if we can become aware of that. And I do readings actually on that. All of my readings are pretty much on that, where, you know, whatever's happening on the outside is a reflection of what's going on in our inside. So we need to look at that when it's triggering us. And so I'm going to be using the Curious Travels deck, as well as the Tarot Vintage, to clarify. And I'm going to put you on speed shuffle so I can lay everything out for you, and then I'll come back and read. All right, Gemini, I'm back. So let's look at, where is your fear showing up right now in your life? Well, the first card that comes out is this beautiful Nine of Pentacles card. And it's in reverse in an upright position. The Nine of Pentacles talks about, you know, it often speaks of a card of abundance. And I like to look at it as, you know, it comes after the 8. The 8 of Pentacles speaks about being passionate about something. And then you get to the 9 and it's like, okay, I have this passion. I know I'm passionate about something, but I have this big fear committing to it. There's something that you're feeling really, it's like you're very passionate about something. You need to put your focus towards something, like where's your priority lie, kind of like, and it's like, but there's a real fear to doing it or going in that direction and committing to something, because the 8 of Swords comes up next, and the 8 of Swords in an upright position talks about a card of really feeling like you're trapped, like you can't get out of this situation. And I think when this comes in reverse, it's telling me that not only do you feel trapped, but I think you've just like given up, where you've just kind of accepted, like, I can't get out of this. I know, like, I know I need to make a commitment to something. You know, whether it's something that you want to do, something that you're passionate about, just something like to try to figure out, you know, what really matters to you, and going in that direction. But really given up. Like, it's like, no, I can't even look at that. I can't do it. It's like, you know, for some reason, it's just like, I won't even look at that. And that's like how big your fear is around that. It's left you in a state of paralysis that I talked about at the beginning, where you're frozen. There's something here that's keeping you frozen in place. And you know what it is because it's just general reading, but you're like, I don't even know how I can begin to change this, because I'm absolutely paralyzed. And here's the Chariot card here. And the Chariot card speaks about, my hair is not cooperating right now. As soon as I start to touch it, it bothers me. So if it's gone up in the air or something, one time I did this video and it was sticking all up in the air, and it was like, do I just not, I think I tried to chop it out or something, but anyway, never mind about my hair. We're going to talk about the Chariot card. The Chariot card is a card about this individual, this charioteer that has been, for the longest time, trying to control these sphinxes. And they're going in different directions. They're not even moving. He's been trying so long to control these sphinxes with his mind, because there's no reins here, that they've turned to stone. Even the charioteer himself has turned to stone. It's been sitting there for so long. And this is a card about, you have been trying to control the situation for so long with your head. And it's like, it's come time now where I think you're hitting a wall. You've hit a wall. And that's where that paralysis is coming in, like this cement wall. Like you finally hit that wall where it's like, I don't know if I can control this anymore. You're feeling this incredible fear around this. You know it's something. You know it's something you need to commit to, but the fear around doing it is unbearable, and it's causing you to feel like you're in a state of paralysis, and you just can't control this anymore. You can't. It's out of your control. And so, how are you blocking this? This is real. I'm just feeling this, and it's a tough situation you're in right now. It's a horrible feeling to be in this, where you're finally hitting the wall and you're just paralyzed and you don't even know what to do about it. And interestingly enough, the Eight of Swords comes up for you again twice. So, you have this part of you. So how are you blocking it? Well, you have the Knight of Cups coming in. The Knight is what I call my freedom fighters. You have this part of you. It's an adolescent part. We all have it. It's the part that wants to be free. I want you to think of an adolescent, how they just want to be free to be them. And this is the Cup. And so they want to be free to have the relationships that they want. They want to be free to offer their cup. And you've been trying all your life to be free, to go towards your authentic self, to, have authenticity in all your relationships. And I think it gets to a point where this part can really get to a point where they don't trust people, and they start to, cut people out of their life. And maybe that's how you're blocking your fear, where, maybe there's a fear in you of, maybe it's committing in relationships. Maybe this has something to do with relationships now. Maybe you have this incredible fear to commit to relationships, whether they're intimate or not. You just get this fear, and you don't trust people, and then you cut them out, isolate yourself from people. Maybe you're finding yourself in a lot of, and I think this card is what this was, is kind of taking on a bit of a different meaning right here. I think you've taken so many swords and cut out so many people in your life that you're starting to feel very isolated. And there's a huge fear to committing, to trusting people. So the word trust is coming up here. So you have a fear of commitment, fear of loving, whether it's, you know, intimate or not, but you just don't trust people. And so this is you all tied up, feeling like you can't ever, feeling like you can't have that freedom to love, to be the authentic you, and feeling that there's nobody out there that really understands who you are. And you have all these swords here that you've put in the ground, right? Trying to get back to who you are, and you've used that sword to cut people out. And so, and you block this pain because you're in pain right now. You know, the Eight of Swords, when it comes up, it's somebody that feels trapped. But if you're feeling trapped, there's a lot of pain there. There's a lot of fear. And so you have the Seven of Cups here that comes out here. And in an upright position, the Seven of Cups speaks to me about this individual that's looking at all these cups on offer. And you know, the cups are about love, our wishes, our desires, looking at all of them. You know, and maybe that's you, where you kind of think about, you know, wouldn't it be wonderful to have that person that I could spend the rest of my life with, or that I could just have that friend that would sit beside me and understand me, or even find that one individual that really understands me or really cares for me. And you're looking at all those cups up there, you're dreaming, you're very distracted, really distracted, and see all the clouds up there that are surrounding all those clouds. And so this card speaks to me of someone that's very much up in the clouds, to the point where they're very much not present. They're very much not aware anymore of what's going on. Very dissociated, distracted. And I think that's where you brought yourself to, because I think there's just so much pain here, and you've tried to get back to your authentic self. This Knight of Cups has been trying for so long. I'm wondering, I didn't say it, but when this part of you, this freedom fighter, this Knight of Cups, when they've been trying all their life to get back to their authentic self, and to get, you know, find that one person, or find anybody that's going to understand them and you know, recognize them and acknowledge them and love them, they can become very, very depressed and hopeless, and feel quite hopeless. And so I'm wondering if you're sitting here in hopelessness, because our depression is actually a block. It's a cover-up for what's really behind that. And when we can get through, pierce a hole in our hopelessness, when we can sit with that and feel it and grieve, because there's so much grief behind that. And that grief is what you need to feel. Because I haven't gone to look at the origin of this yet, but I'm wondering if you have a lot of grief there because you weren't able, you weren't given the love, you weren't shown trust, you weren't shown the love, unconditional love when you were younger. And so that is why you are still carrying these patterns into your adult life, where you don't trust people because you weren't shown trust when you were younger. And you continue to cut people out of your life because they're going to give you reasons, for sure, for you not to trust them. That's just continuing the patterns until you see them, until you deal with this hopelessness that you feel, this feeling of being trapped, this and you know, and to start to get out of your head and get back into your body and start to feel these. Because right now you're living in a state that's very dissociated, so that you don't have to feel this incredible pain. And so let's look at this origin of where's your fear coming from. Definitely fearing, this fear of commitment, you know, this not trusting people. Where's that fear coming from? Well, let's start off with, oh, you have a tower in there. I didn't see the tower. Okay, so you start off with the Five of Swords in reverse. Five of Swords in an upright position. Wow, is very much, it's my bullying card. I always call it my bullying card. You have this individual here. I mean, he's been in so many battles. Here's the bully. Been in so many battles that he looks turning into a mummy, right? And he's got scars all over his body, and you know, it's all just to collect these swords from people. And what's important to me is the people in the background. These are the victims of the bully, right? These are the people that have been shamed by the bully, and to a point where it's kind of like done them in. And when you feel that shame, that unworthiness, you feel like you don't matter. And so I think that there's been a real bullying situation or situations that did you in when you were younger. It's sitting right here in the front of your shadow here. And I'm sure you know that. Maybe you were that kid on the in the playground that got bullied by other kids at school. And if you did, it's because you were bullied. You were being bullied at home. Sometimes you could be the bully because you learned that at home. But I see this card as my bullying card, and it speaks of a lot of unworthiness, of you not mattering. You, when you were younger, were given that message that you did not matter. And you feel very unworthy. And the Tower card sits behind that bullying card. There's something that happened to you when you were younger that you need to be aware of. I don't know if you are, but a Tower card speaks of a major change of circumstance. When it's not in the shadow, it talks about kind of the universe taking that baseball bat to our head and saying, you know, it's time for a major change in your life. It's like you're going the wrong way. Here's a baseball bat to make you, you know, you've been given a lot of these red flags when it's not in your shadow. Right now it is. But you've been given a lot of these red flags, and it's like, okay, finally the universe has warned you and you didn't listen. So it's like, okay, we're going to change direction here. But in your case, you were a child, a young child, adolescent. This could have been going on throughout, you know, your childhood, this Tower moment. There's something here that really changed your direction. This bullying that happened to you, these bullies, changed the direction of your life, right? We came here on this earth knowing what direction we were meant to go in, knowing who we were. And then this comes in, this bullying, these people that were full of shame themselves. And when we're full of shame ourselves, that's what bullies are. They're full of shame. They've got to give their, they repeat the pattern and they give their shame to you. And then you feel unworthy. And that changed the direction of your life. And that's what you need to come to an understanding of, because right now you're feeling a real paralysis and around this not being able to commit to relationships. But you've got this healing right here, this bullying, this unworthiness that's coming up that changed your direction completely in life. And Ten of Cups comes behind the Tower moment. There is something that happened to you that caused you to feel extremely unworthy and full of shame. And then you get this Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups talks about this full range of emotions here. And the full range of emotions is the end of a cycle. Full range of emotions says that as a child, when we're brought into this world, you know, when we're really young, we use all our emotions. We're not scared to feel all our emotions. We love freely. We give out love freely. We take it. We use our anger. We use our fear. We use our joy. And then it's people around us that shame us and go, no, 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 you're not allowed to use that emotion. And so you got shut down. You shut down all your emotions. You realized that your emotions were not safe. It was not safe for you to love. You learned at a very young age, it was not safe for you to love. And here's the fear of your commitment. You started out with the first card in this reading, committing to something. And you know, it wasn't safe for you to love. And that's why you have this, you are where you are right now, where you've cut people out of your life because you don't trust anybody. And you have a difficult time committing to people. Well, you've learned that when you were younger, it wasn't safe for you to love. And here, it ends with the 10 of Wands here. Whenever I see this card, and this card is like someone that has all these burdens. It's the end of the pip cards in the Wands. And the Wands is a real fiery energy. It's like Wands are about taking your life in a new direction, in a creative direction. And in this case, it's like this is this individual that's gone through a lot and has carried all these burdens. You've carried the burdens, all the burdens of being bullied, and it's changed your life into a different direction where you did not trust, you did not have the emotions. You didn't trust any of your emotions. You couldn't trust love. And so you've been carrying that. It's sitting here right in your shadow, all of them. It's ready to be released, but it's in your shadow. It needs to be released. All those burdens that you've been carrying, all this unworthiness about yourself is right here. It's right here in your shadow that needs to be healed. A lot of shame of who you are. But you were taught that as a young child. And then we beat ourselves up when we get older because we repeat all these patterns over and over again and can't understand why. Why you have this fear of commitment. It's because you learned that when you were young. You learn not to love. You learn not to love because something happened to you when you were younger that taught you that. That love wasn't safe. Commitment wasn't safe. How can you begin to release this fear of your commitment? Well, the strength card, beautiful strength card comes in for you right here. And I love this picture of this lion holding this woman in her hand, in its paws. And she has no fear. I saw this, I think it was a TikTok or something, about a week ago or so. And it was this trainer of, I think there were cougars maybe. And at night he sleeps in their cage with them. And it's like, that's just like the comfort that he has of these animals and how they've learned to trust one another. I was wondering why I was going to that story. We talked about trust, right? You not trusting people. You don't trust the love because you didn't trust it when you were younger. You learned not to trust. And so this card right here is the strength card, but it's not like saying you have the strength to love. This card is about you have the strength right now. I know you don't feel it, but you have the strength in you. It's like you have the strength to open up that Pandora's box, to go in and feel some of this shame, to go into your body and ground and to feel some of this shame that you need to feel when you were younger, because it has really made you feel, it has made you, brought you to a place where you distrust people. And it's in reverse because it's blocked, and I know you don't feel that right now, but this card comes out saying you can do this. You can open up this Pandora's box. It's time, right? This is what this is all coming up for you right now. I know there's this huge fear for you to go and face that from childhood. Then the Ace of Swords comes out, another beautiful card for you. It's a gift from the universe. It's in reverse because, you know, there's a resistance on your part to taking it. But it's the sword. It's like, here you are. It's the sword of authenticity. It's like, here's the sword that you're going to use to cut through all that bullshit that people told you when you were younger, to made you distrust love and dumped all that shame on you and told you who you were when it wasn't true. And made you feel so unworthy about yourself when it wasn't true. And here's the sword that's going to help you. The sword of your authenticity, of your truth. Here it is. Here's a new start for you. And you have what it takes to now go inwards and deal with this shame. And when I say deal with, I mean feel this shame. And the last card that comes through is a beautiful wand card, your 8 of Wands. Because at the end of your shadow or your unconscious, you had the 10 of Wands, and we talked about that. How, you know, all these burdens that it's sitting here that you've been carrying for so long. Well, guess what the universe wants to do? It says, you know, once you start to cut through, once you start to go inwards, and because remember the Chariot card, it said it's time to go inwards. Because you've been pushing this down and trying to control this for so long now. But it's time now to go inwards and discover your body. And if you do, if you start to deal with some of this shame and this unworthiness and sit with that shitty feeling of shame, and that requires grieving. Grieving over all those things that people told you about yourself. Well, the universe wants to take you into a new direction. Look at the focus of those wands. They're focused. The universe knows where it wants to take you. And it's a part of this is trusting that, okay, this is going somewhere. If I start to heal this shame of mine, this unworthiness that I feel, this is going somewhere. And I have to trust that if I go inwards and start to feel this stuff, and yeah, I'm petrified of going inwards, but I think it's going to take me somewhere. And so I'm going to leave you definitely with a playlist on, I'm going to leave you just with one playlist. And that's going to be shame. Playlist on shame. I want you to learn about what shame is. It's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And I want you to write. I want you to journal. I want you to, learn how to ground into your body so you can feel your shame. Maybe I'll leave you with a grounding video. It's a playlist on grounding as well. So once you ground into your body, and then you start to feel some of those shitty things that you're feeling about yourself, I want you to learn how to journal from your shame. You know, there's a part of you in there that's holding on to that shame. Those burdens you've been holding on to for so long. So I'll give you a playlist on grounding and a playlist on shame. And I want you to have compassion for yourself, Gemini, for what you're working through. Healing yourself is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. So take care, and I'll talk soon. Bye-bye.